Okay, it says we're recording. Oh man, it's me first. Dang it. Hi, you guys are watching the Mac and Cheese podcast, which you would hopefully be getting a podcast once a month or multiple a week with one of my friends /celebrity /celebrity. If you want to be a podcast, please email us at macpodcast2023@gmail.com or DM us at Twitter or X at macpodcast2023. Today's guest is one of the members of the Pack-A-Day crew, which they were just recording, if I'm right, Monte. Twitter will be in the bio, so if you want to follow them there, please do. Ingrid will be back next week, hopefully, with Matt Ramage. If you want to get anything from our friend's shop, it's the link in the bio underneath the about section. The code is Mary15 for 15% off. Justin.
So obviously it's been heard plenty of times before, but Tom Grossi is the Packers nominee for NFL Fan of the Year. Voting is still open. Just looking at his Twitter bio, and the bookmark tweet will be on there. So you can vote as many times as you want. Use your email address. Doesn't matter how many times you vote for him. Just vote for him, and hopefully he wins in Las Vegas in early February, which is when the voting will end. So a lot of charity work's been done with $500,000 for St. Jude's Children's Hospital and nearly $80,000 for the Organization for Autism Research back in December. So that's it. Go Pack, go.
Yeah. Monty, we're starting off with the questions. And like I told you, we have been adding more as we went on.
Mm-hmm.
So what are your favorite moments of going to Lambeau? I'm assuming
yes. The last couple of years I've actually gone up for training camp and one preseason game. So I've been really enjoying doing that. Like, it's awesome being up there like in the summertime. There's obviously a ton more to do outside around the stadium. It's cool going to a game where you're mostly just there enjoying the atmosphere. You're not really caring about the outcome of the game, right? You're there for the preseason. But I would say some of my most fun games that I've seen at Lambeau, I was there for the 2009 game, which was Aaron Rodgers, the season opener. So that's when they beat the Bears on Sunday Night Football. That was a great one. I was there when they beat the Jets in, I think, 2014, which was like Jordy had two really long touchdowns. That was a good game. It was like I think it was like the third game of the year. Yeah, I can't say I've ever been to Lambeau and had a bad experience. I've been there for a ton of Packer Bears games. That's the matchup that I've seen the most. So.
Justin or James. I don't know who has the next one. James, is that you? Or Justin?
I thought James had the second one.
Oh, well, actually, no, I do have a question for you, though.
For me?
Yeah.
Yeah, ask away.
Favorite moment from this year? If you want to include seeing me on camera at the Bears game, please do.
Well, I mean, that goes without saying. So if I have to pick a second one, I definitely think my favorite moment was, even though they ended up losing the game, it was the Jordan Love throw to Jaden Reed against the Bucks, where he just made an absolutely ridiculous throw, like a throw he had no business even attempting. Great throw, great catch. That was like, I mean, I've been a big Jordan Love fan all along, but like seeing him make that type of throw was, I was at a bar watching it, and like everyone just kind of got silent when that play happened, because everyone was like, did he really just do that? Like, did he get both of his feet in? Did he make that throw on time? Like, that was, for me so far, like the high point of the season.
I was more impressed with what he did. Did you happen to see that throw to that touchdown last week?
Yes, the Jaden Reed again. Yeah. How great is it, though, that we have more than one to be able to pick through to say, do you remember that ridiculous throw he made? And which one?
Right. Justin, do you want to go?
Before I ask my question, I'll have my spiritual moment is against Kansas City. specifically the sequence with the fourth down throw to Romeo Doubs, and then later the touchdown to Christian Watson.
Yep.
That's my favorite game of the year so far, the KC one.
Boy, did we get away with one there.
Yeah.
My favorite moment from 2023, like the Packers season, is the Saints win the
comeback.
Week 3 at Lambeau.
Biggest fourth quarter comeback in team history at home.
That's impressive.
More great moments to come. Next question. What are your thoughts on the Packers bouncing back after the slump? And have there any big playoff potential for this year?
Yeah, I mean, I'm expecting them. I mean, it's deja vu, right? Like we got the last game of the year at home, win and get in the playoffs. It feels totally different, right? I mean, last year it was kind of, it was like a team on its way out. Like you're worried about what's going to happen after the game in the off season, like a lot of drama surrounding the team. But now you're a young, up and coming team that's arrived early, right? Like they're not really supposed to be in this position. So I like their chances. Like I'm not ever going to pick the Packers to lose to the Bears. I mean, it hasn't happened since 2015.
Lord, if we lose to Chicago.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason for them to lose this game. It's not going to be easy. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, I'm excited for them to make the playoffs. I don't care who they face in the playoffs. Like, and looking forward, right? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, we're not playing the game Sunday. We can look forward. We can look past the team, but I don't care if they play the Cowboys. I don't care if they play the Lions. Like, we're not expected to even be in the playoffs. So, like, we get to play spoiler. There's no pressure. Like, I just want a young team to experience the playoffs before there's any expectation, because that's like,
this is where I kind of defer. If we get the 6th seed, I want to knock Detroit off.
Oh yeah, I'd love it. I would love it.
I'd rather face them than Dallas. That's
so you'd rather beat the Lions than beat Mike McCarthy?
Look, man, Dallas is just they're a juggernaut.
Yeah, they're good. They're good.
I don't see them going down to Dallas and beating them.
But the one thing about the Cowboys is that they like cannot run the ball at all this year.
But we have no run defense.
Right, but that's perfect then, because like we don't care about their rushing attack because they can't run. So like I almost would rather face a team that can't run the ball, because I'd rather face a team that just throws it a bunch. But yeah, I mean, but again, either way, right? I mean, getting to see the Packers in the playoffs, yeah. I don't think any of us thought that was going to happen, right? I mean, I certainly didn't. Did you?
I had us making the playoffs this year. I'm like, look,
even after October happened.
Exactly. My statements have always been the same. It's season or bust. I don't lower expectations like that. I just don't.
Yeah, you might. I mean, I feel like you're going to end up being right in the end. I think they're going to win on Sunday. So,
and I had us going 9-8.
We get at least one more week.
Yep.
Yeah, I would love us to see us in playoffs. I just wanted to beat off the Eagles so bad in Philadelphia.
That would be the case. Yeah, that would be the case if Dallas loses to the Commanders and the Eagles win against the Giants. Then we would face and even then, the Rams would have to win against the 49ers.
Yeah.
Because if the Rams lose to the 49ers, we would have a tiebreaker over them, and we would be with 60 go to Detroit.
I mean, yeah, I mean the Eagles aren't playing very well. Obviously, they just lost to the Cardinals, so like they're kind of struggling. So
and we almost beat them last year.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I love not really caring about who we face, because I mean, I can't remember the last time the Packers were in the playoffs without any kind of expectations, because we've always had Aaron Rodgers. So like when you have Aaron Rodgers and you make the playoffs, it's always expected that you're going to make a run. But now at this point, the pressure is going to be on whichever team you face massively.
Although let me just say this: we get out of the wild card round, we got no chance against the Niners.
No, yeah, of course, no.
Yeah,
unless we said Brad Purdy a lot.
Yeah, the Niners are the only team that has looked better than them is the team that I think is the best in the league, which is the Ravens. So yeah, the Niners are if the Niners are healthy and barring anything crazy, I feel like they're going to almost walk to the NFC Championship.
Yeah. Oh, I got it. Who are your top two Packers, not naming quarterbacks, offensive defense?
This
For
year?
current? Yeah, current and like old.
Well, so this year I'm definitely most excited for. I've loved watching Jaden Reed in every game this year. Like, there's a lot of players I could pick on offense, but I mean, he's kind of just been. I don't think anybody saw him having as big of a impact as he has already. I remember during the draft, every Packers fan wanted them to draft Jackson Smith and Jigba, right? That didn't happen, but then they did take Jaden Reed, and he's been everything that Randall Cobb was supposed to be for his whole career in Green Bay in his first year. So easily him for me on offense, and then on defense, I'm gonna go rookie again, and I'm gonna go Carrington Valentine. He's been great this year. Like
Yeah.
he definitely has that. If you want to talk about has Jair had like an influence on like the younger guys, like he has like the exact same attitude and he plays the same way. And like that's gonna be awesome, like going forward. Because like 7th round rookie, like he's not expected to contribute, and he's been your starting corner for 10 games this year. So
Speaking of Jair,
That's-
do you think they're gonna? Do you think he's gone after this
oh
year?
no, I think he's back. I thought he was back even before he said he sees himself coming back. Like for two reasons. Like number one, his contract, like he just got extended with a huge contract. He's not going anywhere. And number two, like you don't let a guy that's that good when he's healthy, you don't let him go. Like I know people are always going to be what's the word I'm looking for? People are always going to be harsh on the GM when they make moves that when he makes moves that you don't like. If you let a player like Jair go and he goes somewhere else and is really, really good, you have to hope you can replace him. And so you shouldn't just let him go. Everyone would be pissed off if they let Jair go somewhere else. So yeah, I absolutely think he's back.
Cause like it's the last couple of weeks I've seen rumblings about like the team not being happy with him, and
yeah, I don't.
Like,
that seems crazy to me.
They
like,
they're
he's
really
still so
trying
good.
to figure out whether to give him at least from what I understand, it's about his signing bonus.
Yeah, that was kind of like a story where it was a whole lot about nothing. Like I actually read that article like when Schefter tweeted it out. It basically just said, "Oh, they're expected to pay it to him, but if they don't, what could happen? Like they're gonna pay it. Like that's."
Yeah, I was gonna say my eyebrows were kind of raised. I said, "Uh-oh."
Yeah, they're gonna have a ton of money next year because the Aaron Rodgers contract's off the books. They'll do something with Bakhtiari's contract, whether it be restructure and bring him back, or they'll cut him. Like
he's done.
I lean towards that. I think he comes back. By the way, I'm leaning towards that he comes back.
Yeah, me too.
The reason I think he's back is he is. There's no team in the league that's more familiar with his injury history than the Packers are. But even with them being so familiar, they don't know when he's going to be able to play week to week. I don't see another team signing up for that to bring him on that's not familiar with him and say like, oh, well, maybe he can play. Like the Packers have the luxury of he didn't play basically all year for us this year. They can have him play the games he can play, and the games that he can't, they know they can play Rasheed Walker, and he's been just fine coming down the stretch.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I was about to say, when you mentioned Carrington Valentine, you were the first person that did that. Most people mentioned Lucas Van Ness and Carl Brooks for that question.
Yeah, I mean that's the great thing, right? Like this team has so many good young players. We haven't felt this way about a Packers team in a long time. Like we're not only watching for the love of the game, but we're watching to see everyone develop at the same time versus an offense that we're familiar with and a quarterback that we've seen for 20 years and all that. We're watching everyone grow together, and that's it makes every game just that much more entertaining.
I personally prefer 13 wins year after year. That's just just me.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to pick one, sure, yeah, sign me up for that. Like
In other words, the future is bright in Green Bay.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
as long as Joe Barry does not stick around,
he's gone. I said earlier today. I tweeted out earlier today. The only way he comes back, because again, like his contract expires after this year, so they would have to extend him or like give him another contract. But the only way he ever gets brought back, even knowing how much Matt LaFleur likes him and everything, if they win like 2 playoff games and it's because of the defense, right? Like they're winning them 20-17 or something. And he like clearly like the defense is the reason they're winning, then sure, maybe he comes back. But
hell,
other
I'll
than
let
that,
him go regardless.
yeah, I think he is gone almost no matter what. Like I can't see them doing that again.
Justin, do you want to ask 4?
Number 4 is what do you think the Packers want to look for in next year's draft of 2024? And also, the draft in 2025 is going to be at Lambeau. What are your thoughts on that?
So I am not like a huge college football person. Like I follow it. Like I watch the playoffs, so I'm watching it like right now, right? Because that's what's going on. But like I don't follow it a ton. But I can tell you right now. I mean, like the Packers need next year. Like they need a safety, and I would argue they also need a corner because Eric Stokes, I mean, really good rookie year, got hurt last year. Since he's come back, hasn't looked very good. Like you hope that injury didn't kind of just like rob him of what made him good, which was his athleticism. But they need a safety, they need a corner, and I think they're going to take at least one lineman. Fair, like I wouldn't be surprised if they took a lineman either in the first or with one of those Jets, if with that Jet second rounder. But other than that, I mean, like the last 5 years we've been begging for the Packers to draft receivers or tight ends. Like they don't need one at this point. It's crazy. Like they can go realistically 6 deep at receiver, and they got 3 good tight ends at this point.
Unfortunately, Christian Watson's become a liability with his history.
That's the only wild card. Like if he could show that he could stay healthy, I don't think they would take one at all. But maybe they still do, just because you can't count on him showing up for 17 games.
Yeah. So for the tight ends, do you think it's the 2 rookies and Josiah DeGuara, or are we done with him?
I think DeGuara is gone. I think it's going to be the 2. I think it's all 3 rookies. I think it's going to be Kraft, Musgrave, and Ben Sims. Like Packers are the only team in the Super Bowl era to have 3 rookie tight ends catch a touchdown. Like they're DeGuara. Like I held on for a long time. Like I wanted him to work out. Like I even thought that like now that Love was the quarterback, that he was going to be good, because like it seemed like Rodgers didn't like throwing him the ball ever. And whenever Jordan Love would come into the game or in preseason, him and DeGuara had like pretty good chemistry. But when's the last time you heard DeGuara's name called like during a game? They're clearly kind of just phasing him out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
But you talk about the 2025 draft. I'm absolutely planning on going to Green Bay for that. Like I'm not going to miss that. That's going to be great.
Yeah.
That's like a once in a lifetime. Arguably, like who knows? Like how, depending on how it goes, it might not ever be in Green Bay again, right? Like so, I'm definitely going to be there.
If it's the only time, I don't want to miss it.
Yeah, going to be that's because Green Bay is never going to host a Super Bowl, so this is probably the closest they'll get to a big NFL event. So yeah, that's going to be great.
Yeah.
Question is, where do you think Roger Goodell will announce the picks from? Lambeau or in Titletown?
Yeah, I don't know, right? Like I feel like maybe they hold it like in the like they're not going to do it in the atrium, right? Because that's like too small. Like I think it's going to have to. They'll set up a stage outside in the Titletown district. Like it just makes sense. Like maybe in front of the sledding hill, right? Like with that in the background, like you have Lambeau in the background. Like I could see that being the setting.
Yeah.
In the stadium would be really, really cool, but I don't think anywhere they've done it has ever been inside the stadium. No, they've been like rotating. So that'd be a first. That'd be cool, but
I don't think they're going to do it in the stadium because we know how Lambeau is with not having concerts. Don't do concerts.
Don't touch the grass ever.
Yeah, and you're not.
Yeah.
It's hallowed ground. It really is.
Yeah. I can say this, I think, because we've announced this pretty much on every single episode. Our podcast will be at the draft in 2025.
Yeah, I think anyone that has the ability to be able to make it there is going to try to be there. Like, not necessarily, you're not buying tickets to the actual draft, but like you're going to want to just be in Green Bay. Like everything surrounding it's going to be
Right.
awesome there. So
Not sure about tickets. I think the draft is free to attend. I mean,
It
at least
is.
the surrounding area.
okay,
I went to the draft 2 straight years here in the Chicago area. It is free.
yeah, that's right. I forgot I was in Chicago.
They used to host their Radio City Music Hall every year until they phased that out.
Yeah,
Although I do like that it's rotating like every NFL city.
I like that too. I don't know if this is what they're doing, but I would like if they did this where like if your city is not ever going to be able to host a Super Bowl, like let them host the draft.
Absolutely.
Because like now like the Bills are building a new stadium, right? So like they might end up getting a Super Bowl but I think that's going to be an outdoor stadium still. Yeah, so like who knows? Like maybe the Bills don't host one, but like I guarantee you Buffalo will get the draft at some point because that's a like they're the AFC version of the Packers. So at least
Bills
with
and
the
Super
fan
Bowl
base.
don't belong in the same sense.
They went to 4 in a row. They didn't win one.
Oh, I'm sorry, winning one doesn't. It does not belong in the same sense.
Neither does this one. But
right?
Yeah, I was gonna say, what about those? We'll talk about that game in a little bit. James, do you want to ask 5, or do you want me to take it?
I got it.
Okay.
Your thoughts on Tom Grossi winning Fan of the Year?
Absolutely deserves it. Even if I wasn't extremely biased, which I am, because like Tom's one of my good friends. We've recently been like he's been. I meet up with him every year when I go to training camp, and we go to the preseason game. Like he's one of my close friends, so nobody more deserving of it than him, especially for everything he did with St. Jude. I mean, I think he deserved it even before he did all that 30 for 30. There's no way he won't win after doing that. Like that, he got so much good publicity for the league, raised a ton of money for a great cause, an absolutely insane undertaking. I mean, like 30 every NFL stadium every day for a month. I mean, if one thing goes wrong in that plan, it could possibly throw off your entire trip. And he was able to power through it. Like he absolutely deserved it. I'm looking forward to him winning. And like I said, like it's kind of surreal for me to like see someone who's one of my good friends be on a platform that big and do this much good and get this much publicity. Like that's I'm super proud of him. He absolutely deserves to win.
So you said Tom is one of your best friends. So did you meet him during the whole 30 and 30?
No, I had met him a couple of years before that. So yeah,
So
I've known him for a few years now.
So you didn't meet him during 30 and 30?
Well, I did meet up with him when he came here to Arizona, but that wasn't that was not the first time that I had met him. Yeah, I had hung out with him and met him a handful of times.
Nice. I know Justin and I met him at Tampa during the Tampa one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not at the stadium, but like across the street from the stadium.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, right? Like to see the crowds that come out just to get a chance to meet him and shake his hand. Like that's crazy. Because when I look at him, I'm like, yeah, that's Tom. Like, that's just my friend Tom.
Fantastic guy.
Amazing. Yeah. And it ended up being Johnny's Burke's birthday actually for the Tampa movie.
Oh yeah, that's perfect. Now I had not met Johnny before this year, so when I finally met Johnny, like that was great. Johnny's also awesome dude.
So I'm assuming you know Tom well enough. So Dan, his composer, right? He actually wrote the mac and cheese intro.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
There you go.
We're just not
small world
yet because it's not tweeted out yet.
Sneak peek.
No, no. I mean, it'll be publicly tweeted eventually. Justin, is this mine or yours?
You did the last one, so you said most recent one, so I'll say number 6. What are your thoughts on how the Packers can improve to win a Super Bowl or 2 in the future?
It's easy, right? Defensive coordinator.
Yep.
Like, it's such the low hanging fruit. It's too easy of an answer right now because like we already said, we all feel good about the offense. They're only going to get better theoretically, right? They have to make a change. There's very few holdovers from the previous quote unquote like regime when Aaron Rodgers was the quarterback, and Joe Barry's one of them, and it has not worked. Like it just like it's time to change. Like I don't think the Packers can win a Super Bowl with him running the defense. So that's what they have to change. Like before anything else, like even if no matter what you think about some of the players and where they need to upgrade on the field, like they have to start with the coach. It has to be like stop number one.
Yeah.
I bet if you polled like 100 Packers fans and asked that same question, 97 of them would say defensive coordinator. Like,
Yeah.
like right? Like I can't imagine it'd be less than 90. So yeah.
Here, I can ask the next one, Justin. I know it's unless if you want to ask it.
Let's do you ask one and I'll ask one. Not sure where James is.
He's doing laundry. He just told me.
Gotcha.
Hey, it's gotta get done.
And I'll take 8.
Oh, number 7.
Yeah, that's your timeline one.
Okay, so let's say you have a DeLorean. You borrow Doc Brown's DeLorean. You get to time travel back to any 3 Packers moments in history, besides Super Bowls. It can be wins. Yeah, should be wins. Which 3 are you picking?
All right, so I will pick number 1. Like I'm gonna pick the Ice Bowl. I think it'd be amazing to be at. It's like one of the most iconic games in NFL history, even if you're not a Packer or Cowboys fan, right? So I'd love to go to I'd love to see the Ice Bowl in person. That'd be incredible. Number 2, I was already there, but I would love to go back to it, which was the Packers Bears game in 2013 at Soldier Field, where the first Randall Cobb game, right? That is a game I will remember forever. Like that, being a Packers fan in that stadium, in that environment, like for that moment was incredible. Like I would love to revisit that like it was the first time. And then the third one, that's tough. I can't pick a Super Bowl. I would probably pick I would have loved to have been in Atlanta for the divisional game in 2010 when Aaron Rodgers just literally was playing like a robot, and never going to see a quarterback play a game like that again, arguably in my lifetime. So I would have loved to have been there for that.
Yeah, I definitely love those choices. Ice Bowl, the '96 conference championship game against Carolina. That's my second choice. You know that the win before the Super Bowl with Holmgren, Favre, and Reggie and Lloyd Butler. And my third, I'll pick the Jared Cook catch.
Okay, yeah, in Dallas. That's Dallas. A good one. Yeah.
You guys are making me change mine now. Dang it. So mine would be
hey, there's a lot of good ones. Like
I know.
Yeah.
So many memorable Packers moments from the last 104 years.
Yeah.
105 years anyway.
My top one would be the whole Vince Lombardi era, just to see how that was back in the day.
You only get one game though. You can't pick the whole 60s.
Wait. I asked in the pre-conference. He said that was okay.
Oh, okay. So you're going back in time. You're gonna be stuck there for 10 years.
Hey, okay, fine, whatever. Lombardi era, or wait, the 2011 undefeated season, the one after the Super Bowl win. And I want to go back with my previous answer, the Saints game, like see the final kick.
Yeah, I mean, you saw, like you said, you saw a historic moment in Packers history. It's the largest fourth quarter comeback in team history. Like that's hopefully that stands forever, right? Like hopefully they don't get down by more than 17 points in the fourth quarter and they have to come back and win from that.
Here I got it. postseason outcome, players, and coaches searches. I know you kind of mentioned already Barry, but players?
It's tough, right? Because like this is still a team. This is year one of whatever you want to call it, a transition, a rebuild, a retool, like whatever. Like there's going to be a lot of changes. Like we already talked about, you potentially don't have David Bakhtiari coming back. We expect Joe Barry to be gone. You got guys like Devondre Campbell, who maybe he's back, but I doesn't feel like it. Like, so I would say the thing I'm going to be looking for the most is I think there's a really good chance that both Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon both come back. Which is, it feels crazy to say because earlier this year I would have said, you know, Aaron Jones is going to be gone just because of his contract, and they're not going to re-sign AJ Dillon because of his production. But since then, Jones has been injured. The running back market is so bad. I talked about this on I was just recording Last Call Lambo before I joined you guys. I don't know if you guys remembered earlier this year, the running back market was so bad, all the running backs got like on a Zoom call, like to talk. So I mean, Aaron Jones is going to be 29. He's been injured most of this year. He's due a lot of money. He loves being in Green Bay. I can't see another team offering him a bunch of money. So I think they get something done with him and bring him back. And then AJ Dillon, like the market's bad. He did not have a great year. He had a really good stretch, which I was like, I would be fine with re-signing him. But then he broke his thumb. So like now he's been injured again. Like I can't see him getting offered a ton of money. And I can't pick who loves Wisconsin more, Aaron Jones or AJ Dillon. Like they both love it here, right? So
yeah.
I think there's a very realistic scenario where both of them come back and then the Packers do end up drafting a running back, like maybe again with that Jet second rounder if they really fall in love with a guy, or on day 3.
I know we didn't mention him. Keyshawn Nixon, do we bring him back or no?
That one's tough. Like he loves being here too, right? Like he,
Right.
I would be. That's one of those. The money would have to be right. Like the NFL is kind of he leads the NFL in like kickoff return yards because he's really the only one that returns kickoffs. Like no one returns them anymore. Like everyone does the fair catch because you get the ball at the 25. So he's really good at returns. He's the only one that really does it on a consistent basis. But yeah, if the money's right, I'd love to have him back. He's great in the locker room. He's loved like by fans because again, he came in and gave us a spark that we haven't seen on special teams in like 8 years. So
Samori Toure, do we bring him back? I know that's
a question. I think he's gone. Like like not only has Bo Melton like outperformed him as a receiver, like I didn't watch the entire game against the Vikings, but I watched the condensed version. If you guys watched the whole game, you were probably pretty ready to like turn it off and like go enjoy your New Year's Eve, right? But then Samori Toure fumbles the punt and the Vikings score like immediately after, which makes you have to watch like at least another quarter and a half. So like he's never really done much on offense. He has not been great on special teams. He was a 7th rounder. Like it's not like they're really invested in him. I think his time is pretty much done in Green Bay.
Yeah, it was irritating when that fumble happened. It's like, why was he back there? They had
he has not returned punts all season. I have no idea why he was back there in the first place. And the only thing I could think of, right, is they're trying to maybe give him something that he can contribute on this roster.
Yeah.
Kind of like Amari.
Yeah, exactly. And they gave him his chance and he blew it. And yeah, I think that's pretty much that.
Justin, do you want me to take the next question?
Yeah, you can ask that question.
Yay, my favorite one. We were just talking about this kind of reaction to the Vikings when Packers won 33-10. What was your reaction? I know you said you kind of didn't watch it all the way.
Yeah, I watched it the next day. I watched the recap. It was a great game. Like, I mean, that was I'm not going to really comment on like, oh, the defense looked good. Like they started a quarterback that had no business starting, which was very weird. Like
Yeah.
if you're willing to start a guy and he plays bad, why did you bench him after halftime? Like that's
Right.
if you have that quick of a trigger and short of a leash, like he shouldn't have started the game. So by the time he got benched and Mullins came in, the game was already out of reach. But I'm focusing on the offense because the Vikings defense has been good all year. They blitz a ridiculous amount. Like they just create pressure snap after snap. And Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love had an answer for every like all game long. Like it was nearly a perfect game. Like I know Bo Melton dropped that touchdown, that would be touchdown on 4th down. Could it have been a better throw? Sure, but should an NFL wide receiver make the catch? Yes. But it was nearly a perfect game, and like that is one reason why I'm just so encouraged going into this week. Is like the offense has looked good. It's looked good since the Vikings game, the first one, but it's looked elite since they played after that Giants game. Like it has been an elite offense since then. Like they played Carolina, obviously defense was bad, but they had to score on almost every drive and they did it. So
yeah. Justin, do you have a reaction from that?
Vikings. I was happy that the Packers won. It was like it's always good to win against the hated Vikings, the crying Vikings shirt I have, and I think the Packers were guaranteed to win after the shirtless Kirk Cousins and his shirtless son did the whole clapping chant, then the horn.
That made it so much more satisfying.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but I don't care. I did not care that Jordan Love didn't get a turkey leg once I saw them popping champagne on New Year's Eve.
Me neither. Yeah. I don't care about that either.
When I saw that, I was like, this is, if I had to pick one, like if they could have lost to the Lions or lost to the Vikings, like, because he would like, I love that they beat Minnesota on New Year's Eve and they're popping champagne on US Bank Stadium.
Yeah.
Like, they're wearing the hats. Like that was way more satisfying than seeing them if he would have gotten a turkey leg on Thanksgiving.
Well, my thing about the turkey leg is that it was a big tradition with the John Madden thing, and they messed that up. Fox messed that up.
I know there's a whole conspiracy behind it, but I do think that they expected the Lions to win. I figured there was some like very big ceremony for the Lions, like on a primetime stage, like they finally arrived, right? And the Packers ruined that. So that was great. I loved it.
So my reaction to the Vikings game is I watched the whole game on mute. So that was fun in the state of Wisconsin. So I could not hear any of the game and it was hard to see at all. But I just know after the touchdowns at the bar, I was in Wisconsin recently. So at the bar, they gave us all shots of
there you
alcohol.
Go. Happy New Year indeed.
On New Year's Eve. Yeah. Yep.
Speaking of shots, I did one shot of Jack per quarter during the game.
Well, I guess no matter what, you're only doing 4.
Yeah.
Let's win to overtime.
I wouldn't have done overtime. There was this one time I was watching the Bills game last year, and I did take a shot every time the Packers converted a third down, and I had to bail out.
Oh my, yeah. Good luck with that.
They converted like 6 or 7 third downs, and I couldn't finish that drinking game. I was like, I didn't want to pass out, and I don't know. I'm just glad I survived that night.
Okay. Who wants to take 10? James, I don't know who has it.
What you think of who do you think is going to make the Pro Bowl, if any?
So I do think eventually Jordan Love is going to get named to the Pro Bowl this year because I know he's not one of the alternates, but you always have these guys dropping out, right? I mean, Dak and Purdy and Stafford. Dak and Purdy, one of those I assume is going to go to a Super Bowl. Yeah, that's like from the NFC. I don't even know if Dak will want to go to the game and play. He's a seasoned vet at this point. There's nothing that's exciting for him to go play in a two-hand touch game where no one wants to be there. I do think Jordan Love is going to get named to it eventually. I don't care about talking about like who gets snubbed or whatever, because like the Pro Bowl, one of my biggest thoughts about the NFL is I hate that making the Pro Bowl is incentivized in people's contracts. Because part of it being a fan vote, like the fans should not determine how much players get paid. So if one of your big incentives is getting named to the Pro Bowl and you play really, really well, like Jordan Love has, but what do people always say about the Pro Bowl, right? You generally make it a year or two after you should have. So like
same way with the NBA All-Star game.
Yeah. So like
players get
so like if those are your incentives, it's like unless you're a household popular name, the fans are costing you money when you should be able to get in the game. So like I don't get like worked up about who does and who doesn't make it, but I do think Jordan Love ends up going, and I think he would actually go and play in the game. Like he's a first year starter, right? Like that kind of stuff is exciting for that type of player. Like they want to go and experience it. They want to go to Hawaii, right? Who doesn't want to go to Hawaii?
Or Disney World.
Yeah, or Disney World. There you go.
Yeah. Oh, wait. I got told I can ask this one, right, Justin? 11.
11.
Right. Hey,
for this podcast.
Mine.
Okay, I'll do 12.
One.
I'll do 12.
DM'd them. That's why I claimed it. Okay. Oh, okay. Who is a guest that you want to have on this podcast?
I think it would be awesome. I always say no matter what, no matter how serious your podcast is, if it's just for fun, like the one I do with Aaron, which is Last Call Lambeau and Game On Wisconsin, or you do a really serious one where you're like, everyone should have Matt Ramage on their podcast at some point. Like he is like, yeah, it is impossible to not have a good time talking about, first of all, anything with Matt Ramage, but yeah, he should be a guest on everyone's podcast at some point.
Well, this might change your answer because he's actually coming on next week.
Oh, there you go. Like
okay.
I guarantee, like I'm having a great time tonight, and I it seems like you guys are too. Next week, you're gonna have an absolute blast. Like Matt is, he's on another level. He's amazing.
So, not naming Matt Ramage.
Let's see. Second place, I would say. I think everyone should also have Erin on. Erin's great. Like she's my co-host. I've known her a really long time. Like we have 3 total podcasts that we've done together. Like we started out Last Call Lambeau. It was used to be called 4 Downs, but then we had Sam join us, so then it became Last Call Lambeau. Like Erin's great. Like she is one of the nicest people I've ever met, and she would be great on any show.
Yeah, I'll have to reach out to her.
I'm never gonna nominate me. Right? Nobody wants me on their show.
Whatever. Stop. Is she verified? Is Erin verified?
She is not.
Erin verified?
She is not.
Okay, because that would be
a
reason why I wouldn't be able to get her.
I tried trying to DM a player like Don McCalcy or something like that, and I couldn't do it. He was verified. I did message Kurt Banker and Vince Beagle, but they didn't respond back.
Yeah, I assume any actual player, anyone with ties to the Packers in general, I can't imagine they check their DMs. I'm sure they have a social media manager, and because
right.
I mean, just imagine what any given player in the NFL's DMs look like after a game.
Oh,
yeah.
Good or bad, yeah.
Good. Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Good or bad.
Yeah. No, thank you. I mean, I got into urinating trains DMs. Well, he got into me. That's cheating. Justin, 12.
Okay, now I can do 12. So Julius Peppers, former Packer, has been named a finalist for the Hall of Fame this year. what are your thoughts on if he's able to make it?
Absolutely should get in, and I think he should get in first ballot. Like he's he's easily one of the best at his position that's ever played. He had um he had an extended stretch where he was considered the best at his position, like while he was playing. Like I think he absolutely deserves to be in first ballot. Like he's one of my favorite Packers that I've ever gotten to like watch and follow as like a fan. And he didn't play with us for that long, but he was just so good. It didn't even have anything to do with the fact that he went from the Bears to the Packers. Like I didn't even care about that. Like I loved him in Carolina. I was pissed when the Bears signed him because I knew we were gonna have to deal with him for the next 6 to 7 years. And when he signed with the Packers, I was like, this is great. Like I didn't even care if he was as good as he was with us. I just love seeing like legends play for the Packers. And yeah, he absolutely needs to be in the Hall of Fame.
Side note about Julius Peppers, right quick. The year before he joined us, I can still see that John Kuhn cutoff block.
Yeah, that I was there. That was the
you were at that game.
That was the game I was at. Yeah, the 2013 game.
Lucky son of a.
I remember like when you talk about like you remember like memories, like you remember like sights, sounds, like smells. Yeah. Like I remember everything about that game. Like they converted 3 fourth downs on the drive. Yeah, it was incredible. Aaron Rodgers was out most of the year, came back at the end.
Yeah, because of the collarbone, but the Bears broke.
Yep. Bears broke his collarbone, and then he came back and broke their spirits. It was great. I loved it.
And their hearts.
Yep.
I wish I was at that game too. I wasn't able to see it live where I live because of the stupid Bucks. They were on the same time as that game, so I saw the highlights on NBC.
It was one of those like the moment I remember the best is after the Cobb touchdown. You could hear like a pin drop in the stadium.
Pin drop
but like
Soldier Field,
because everyone was like processing what they just saw, and then all of a sudden you just heard a bunch of Packer fans just like cheering, like all at the same time. Like once everyone realized what you just witnessed, Bears fans remained silent, and then every Packers fan in the stadium just lost their mind, and like that was incredible.
I argue that's the best moment of the Packers-Bears rivalry, period.
Yeah.
Better than 2010, better than
the only one that I would say rivals it is the BJ Raji pick six.
No, I was saying like that was the 2010 NFC title game where he did. I think the 2013 one is better than that. Just
purely based on stakes alone, like that got them to the Super Bowl. But I would agree. Like the Cobb moment was it was a shock, right? Because like the BJ Raji interception was off of Caleb Haney, like the backup quarterback's in, like all that. But yeah, like that fourth and 8 to Cobb was that's good. That's in Packers history for sure.
That's one of my favorite Wayne Larry McCarron calls of all time.
Oh yeah.
One of my favorite Joe Buck calls of all time.
Yep.
In fact, that is my favorite now that I think about it.
I don't know if that's unpopular. I like Buck and Aikman. I know a lot of Packers fans don't, but
I do.
I like Joe. It's Troy that's annoying.
They've called so many Packers games over the last 15 years. It's like they're synonymous with the Packers at this point. Like the Packers are always America's game of the week, like constantly every season.
Yeah.
So I just associate their voices with watching the Packers.
Mm-hmm. Which is not too often anymore because they're on Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
My favorite Packers and Bears moment is probably Rodgers like declaring like I still own you.
Oh yeah.
That's
my friend. My friend was at that game, who's a Bears fan and was like sitting in that end zone, and he was like, I can't even be mad because it was just true. Like he's like I'm more sad than I am mad because I couldn't even get mad at him for saying it because it's absolutely true.
Yeah. James 13. I know you wanted that.
Here we go. This is the tough one. I didn't want to ask this, but your thoughts, sir, on our upper management And I refuse to say their names because I'm pissed off at both of them.
Well, I'm on the other side. I like them both. Like so I don't think either one is like perfect, right? Like I'm not gonna say they don't make any mistakes, but I think they get it right more often than they get it wrong.
Murphy, you telling me Murphy get?
So like I will say like Murphy is I like what Murphy does as long as he's not in front of a microphone. Like I think they should stop giving him interviews. Like stop asking questions. Like he needs to not answer questions about like the football side of things. But what's Mark Murphy's job? To make the Packers a bunch of money, right? I think it's pretty clear.
Right.
He not only has he done that, he got the Packers the draft, right? No matter what you think about him, the Packers don't have the draft without Mark Murphy. Like that's huge. Like that is. I never thought the Green Bay, Wisconsin would ever host the NFL draft. That's like his legacy at this point, I think.
Yep, that and Titletown.
Yeah, and Titletown. Like, and as far as Goody goes, like, it's no secret. Like, if you follow me on Twitter, like, I'm a Goody fan. Like, I don't think he's perfect. He's done things I don't agree with, but I think I like that he makes the tough choices and he doesn't care about what other people think about them.
No. Let me tell you something. The decision to trade Rodgers, that was not Goop. That was all Mark Murphy. I have no doubt about it.
I think that's a combo though, because like again, like Goot drafted Jordan Love, like he wanted him to play.
No. Matt LaFleur drafted him. Let's get that right.
Like they have this whole what do they call it? Right? They call it like the triangle of power. So like they have to all somewhat agree on these choices. I like Goody from the standpoint of he likes the guys that he likes, and he's going to take them no matter what you think or no matter what the experts think about them. And again, he doesn't always get it right? I mean, he took Josh Myers over Creed Humphrey. That was a bad move. Like he should have taken Creed Humphrey.
Didn't he take who am I thinking of? He took
like he
overthought it over somebody that we really, really wanted. I forget what draft that was.
That would have been 21. That'd have been the 21 draft.
Yeah, that was a bad pick.
But I mean, he does overthink, right? Because again, like Creed Humphrey, best center in college football, like went one pick after Josh Myers. Like he should have taken Creed Humphrey. But his legacy, just like Ted Thompson's was taking the quarterback, no matter what else he does, his legacy is what happens with Jordan Love. And again, it's year one, but it's looked good so far. Like he has saved his job for at least another few years by getting the quarterback right. Like that's all that matters.
Yeah, if he didn't get that one right.
If Jordan Love didn't look good or even as good as he has, that 2020 draft is objectively bad.
The worst in Packer history.
Yeah, because like as we talked about, DeGuara bad, Dillon underperforming. Like that draft wasn't great. But all that matters is you get the quarterback. So if Love pans out, no one gives
that draft alone.
So like
Jordan Love succeeding, I'd fire him off of that.
Let's put it this way. Like let's say 2 years from now the Packers win the Super Bowl, right? Do you care that he had a bad draft outside of Jordan Love? Like no, you're not. Like that's all that matters. Like he hit on the QB. That's what matters.
Yeah.
I'd fire him for taking Carlson too.
Plus,
I am not a fan of drafting kickers, but yeah, I agree. I'm not Justin Tucker, the best kicker of all time. I'm pretty sure he was an undrafted free agent. Like you don't need to draft kickers.
You need to give Robbie Gold a call. Get him to come out of retirement.
Wasn't Mason Crosby a free agent? No.
No, they actually drafted Crosby.
Yeah, in 2007, they quietly let him walk, and he was out of a job for a while. He was with the Rams for a cup of coffee, and then he kicked for the Giants.
I was fine with them moving on from Crosby. Like I was tired of not being able to get kickoffs in the end zone after like November. Like he could not kick
because our defense was bad anyway.
He couldn't kick in the cold. Like never getting touchbacks. Like
he was the most clutch kicker, though. Come on now, you can't knock him for that.
I think the last year, and I don't, correct me if I'm wrong, I could be. I'm pretty sure the last year that he was the kicker in Green Bay, they led the league in kickoffs returned. Like Like everyone was able to return. Like he could only get him either just over the goal line or to like the 5 or the 10. Like everyone got a chance to return kickoffs against us because he just doesn't have the leg when it gets cold.
Right.
At least I was able to see his the game-winning field goal against Dallas.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's one of the most iconic kicks in Packer history, easily.
You talking about the playoff game, right?
Yeah, 2016.
Playoff game.
Okay,
I
yeah.
was at Lambeau last year when the Packers won against Dallas overtime. Mason Crosby kicked the game winner.
Yeah,
Yep.
see, that's what I was getting at. Like, look, you can say all you want about kickoffs, man. My bottom line is, can you win us the game when we need you?
Well, that's the thing too, right? Like look at Carlson. Like
Carlson can.
it's very annoying that he misses extra points. Don't get me wrong. Kickers should be those should be at a 95% clip in the NFL. But his leg is insane. Like he drills 54, 55, 52-yard field goals like they're nothing. And you assume and you hope that consistency is what gets better as he plays more in the league. But like I love having a kicker knowing that like if he has to go out there and kick a 60-yarder, I'm not going to say I feel confident he's going to make it, but I feel confident he has enough leg to make it. Because like we talked about, Mason Crosby, did you guys think he was going to make that 54-yarder last weekend?
I actually thought he would. I actually thought he was going to.
I was like, this is going to be short. There's no way he's making this field. He does not have the leg anymore, and he's old. Like there's no knock against him. Like he's just an old kicker.
I'll be honest, I did not watch the end of the Giants game because I was heading to the Packer bar for New Year's.
That was a good game. Like that game was way better than it had any right to be. I thought the Rams were going to absolutely blow them out, but
they kind of screwed us over because if the Rams lost, we would have jumped to 6th regardless.
Yeah, well, shout out Pittsburgh Steelers. Like
we're getting us into the position we had last year.
Yeah, thankfully the Steelers beat Seattle because that's now we control. All we have to do is win and we're in.
Yeah, pretty much.
And we're probably if Packers win, we're probably gonna get the 60 because the Rams are pretty much resting everybody.
So are the 49ers.
Well, yeah, but I was gonna say so is San Francisco, right? They literally have the one locked up. They might play their guys just because they have the bye, so they're not off for 2 full weeks. But like, do we really think like Purdy, CMC, Debo, and Ayuk are gonna play more than a quarter, a half, maybe?
No.
But
well, we know that Lamar Jackson's not playing against Pittsburgh.
No, absolutely not.
That's not worth it, yeah. Justin, do you want to take 14?
Yeah, 14. Get up.
Let's talk Pro Bowl.
I think we said about something about Pro Bowl about Keyshawn Nixon not being the NFC return specialist and Jordan Love not making it. It's like they'll make it eventually, but I having extra thoughts about it.
It is annoying to me that like if I'm gonna get upset or annoyed at anyone, like Nixon should have made it because again, he's the only one that actually returns kicks. His numbers are better. Like he was a first team he was the best returner in the league last year. So he should have that name recognition and that reputation of like even if he was marginal this year, I would think he would make it just by virtue of him being the first team all pro. But yeah, I know he's mad about it. He tweeted out, wow, LOL earlier today, like when he found out he didn't make it. Like, but I mean, if he feels like there's a chip on his shoulder, if Love feels like there's a chip on his, like Alton Jenkins, I feel like is someone that could have made it, right? He's a really good guard. He should have that name recognition. Like, hopefully that gives him a little bit of an edge this weekend. But yeah, like the Pro Bowl, the only reason that I get annoyed by it, like I said earlier, is like it sucks that it's tied to like how much money these guys get paid.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not something that's necessarily in their control. Because like Jair's an alternate, like should not be an alternate this year. He's barely played, and when he has played, he hasn't been good. But he's a Pro Bowl alternate. Like that, it's just not a good measuring stick for contract incentives.
Yeah.
Name recognition. That's all it is.
Yeah.
What's the reason why do you think Jair's not playing or hasn't been playing?
Well, I mean,
it's injury related, or
yeah, I've been pretty loud and vocal, like both on like couple shows that I've done and like on Twitter, just like I think he's still that same player that's top 3 in the league. He's just been injured. Like he's what have his injuries been? It's been a back injury and a shoulder, right? So he's a smaller guy. So if you have a bad back and a bad shoulder and you're already a smaller corner, you're not really going to want to tackle, and it's going to hurt when you try to jam wide receivers off the line. Like I think I love Jair. He's still probably my second favorite player on this team. I think when he's fully healthy, I think next year you're going to see him return back to form, and I doubt he's 100%. Because I mean nobody is at this time of year, but I think he's going to have a big game on Sunday. Like I'm not necessarily calling for him to get like a pick 6 or anything, but like I think he's going to have.
To. I have a feeling he's going to.
Oh yeah, you think you think the Packers are going to score like 60 on this weekend?
Well, let me tell you something. I'm in a very household. Okay.
I saw. Yeah, you're really. I know you're all in.
Yeah. I don't know. Did you see my guarantee tweet?
Yeah, you say 59-0?
No. That was a tweet I was tagged in.
Oh, okay.
I personally guaranteed a Packers win.
Yeah, I would feel pretty comfortable with that. I think I'm less nervous about this game than I was going into week 1. I mean, for multiple reasons. Like obviously week 1 was a big unknown because we didn't really know what we were going to see this year. But yeah, I just think that the Packers are in. I don't see them letting this opportunity slip through their fingers 2 years in a row.
Especially not against this other team.
Yeah, like
Detroit's actually a good team.
Yeah, I don't think they lost to the Bears since 2015
at Lambeau. Correct. Thanksgiving 2015.
2015. So like the offense is playing better than it has at any point. The quarterback is playing better than he has at any point. This is the closest that Jordan Love will get this season to having the full preferred offense because like obviously Bakhtiari's not playing, but Christian Watson didn't play week 1.
Yeah, he did.
Watson did not.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, he didn't?
Watson did not. Bakhtiari did.
Oh.
That's right. It was opposite.
Yeah, Bakhtiari played, Watson didn't. So you flip-flop those, right? So this is he has all of his weapons this season, which he has not had so far. So I feel pretty good about it. I don't think they're going to win 59-0. I've been saying anywhere in the realm of like 28-23, 31-26. Like I think the Bears get a score late to make it look better than it is, but I don't think we're going to sweat. I don't think we're going to be sweating for most of this
I do
game.
take them more seriously now than I did in week 1 because.
But for me, it's because of their defense.
That defense is something else.
Yeah, the defense has been really good.
And also, I guess another argument is that they play against weak teams.
Yeah. I mean, they've looked great the last 5 weeks, but I think they've played like Atlanta. They played Minnesota with a third or fourth. I don't even know who started that game for the Vikings. But yeah, I mean, last week their defense looked elite, right? They had 4 picks, but they played Taylor Heineke in a snowstorm. Like the Falcons are bad. Like they have not played a quarterback playing as well as Jordan Love is playing since. I mean, Jared Goff has been playing well, and they looked really good against him. But other than that, like they have not seen a quarterback playing at the way Jordan Love is for a long time. So that's what has me feeling confident. I said. I tweeted out. I said, I think the teams are closer to each other than they were week 1, but as is normal in these games, I think the Packers have the big quarterback edge, and there you go. Like that's in the NFL. If you have the big edge at quarterback, that's what matters. So that's what we're used to in these games.
I'm scared for our defense though, because we do not do well against mobile quarterbacks.
That's the only thing. Yeah, if they.
I'm also scared for special teams too.
I was saying on our show, like the thing that I want to see is the Packers have like the athletes to be able to handle Justin Fields. They just need to be put in good position because like Quay Walker, Lucas Van Ness, Rashawn Gary, like those are all freaks, right? Like those are all freaks on defense. Justin Fields is a freak athlete, but like you've got those 3 guys that should be able, if they're put in positions to win, to somewhat neutralize them because again, Lucas Van Ness had a sack week 1 against Justin Fields. Like
Yes, he did.
Like they have the guys to be able to contain him. It's just whether or not they get put in position to do it, in my opinion.
Quay Walker picked 6 in week 1.
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, they looked great on defense against them in that first game.
I'm excited about the game. Just we'll be changing the Bears still suck after the game's over.
I'm ready to see the Packers in the playoffs again. I'm excited that if they make it, they will not be on Hard Knocks. I don't want Hard Knocks anywhere near my team. But I do hope so. Like, now you guys know now they have Hard Knocks like for the in-season version, right?
Mm-hmm.
So HBO absolutely wants the Packers to be on Hard Knocks. Like they don't want them to make the playoffs. So if they make it, I feel like the Packers are going to be their choice for the in-season version, which I actually do want to see them on.
You want to see the in-season, but not the off-season?
Because like for me, it's more compelling seeing a team in season than like seeing training camp and like players getting cut. Like I don't really care about that. Like I don't know if you guys have been watching this year. The Dolphins in season Hard Knocks has been phenomenal. Like the Dolphins have been one of the most fun teams in the league this year. Getting an up close and personal look at like McDaniel and like all of like how he coaches that team and all of like his personality. Seeing that evolve in a season and like when teams are winning games and like what they go through when games matter is way more compelling to me than seeing like practice and preseason games. Like, yeah.
Fair enough.
I definitely don't want to see prospective Packers players get cut and sadly walk away. I totally agree with the in-season HBO Hard Knocks.
Also, I don't want to play the Jets at Lambeau. Like, I don't care about. I'm not gonna say like I don't want to play them because I think we'll lose. Like, I don't care how the game goes. I want to put that all behind this team. Like, I don't like. Do you guys remember 2009?
Yeah,
like,
when Favre came back. Yeah, no, that's exactly what will happen the second time around.
Like that whole spectacle was just like nauseating for a week before the game. Like, who cares how the game played out? Like, you have to hear every story all week long is about, the old quarterback facing the new. Like, I don't want to deal with any of that. Like, I've moved on from Aaron Rodgers on this team. I would prefer to like leave all that drama behind. I don't want.
So you'll leave 15 years of memories behind. Okay.
Yeah. Like I just I want a clean break. I don't want the Jets coming to Lambeau Field. So that's another incentive that I want the Packers to get.
Well, I was gonna say if they do come to Lambeau, I think this is just what I think. They need to at least do right by him and give him
absolutely
tribute of some kind or something.
Yeah, they absolutely would. And like I'm not worried about
and I tell you this too. If any of our fans got the nerve to boo him,
some will. Some will. They booed Favre. Like they will all. Like some will always do it, but I think the majority. I think he would get a standing ovation. So
he better.
Yeah.
Well,
if I was there for the game, I would absolutely cheer. Like yeah. I mean, I would boo during the game, but like when he runs out of the tunnel, sure, yeah, you're gonna cheer. Like he's a legend.
At least a little
golf
clap.
Yeah, golf clap.
I'm good with the golf clap.
Like it would give me flashbacks to like that game 2009 Brett Favre. It was nauseating. I don't want to see that again with Rodgers going to a different uniform. I'd rather have Rodgers be welcomed back with open arms in about 4 or 5 years when he gets to the Hall of Fame and all that stuff.
Someone just posted something about Jordan Love riding a bear and says bears beneath it.
There we go.
On Twitter.
I'm looking forward to the future.
I'll send it to you guys. It's funny. I was about to ask for predictions, but we kind of already gave them.
We all picked Green Bay, so
yeah, we all think they're gonna win, right? Like,
yeah,
by double digits.
Oh, you think? Oh, you got double digit win. I would love it. Okay, so relatively low scoring.
31-17. So it'll be 31-10.
Oh, yo,
but
31-17. Sorry. I think you said 20. Okay.
31-17, but it would be 31-10 with 5 minutes remaining, and the Bears score in garbage time to make it more respectable.
I would love it. So I'll ask you guys one question.
Yeah.
So depending on how this game goes, like, do you think that this is the game that determines whether or not the Bears keep Justin Fields or not?
No, they already said he's bringing him back.
So you think they've already decided no matter what happens?
I read an article a day ago saying that they're going to bring everybody back.
So if he goes out on Sunday at Lambeau Field and throws like 3 picks and looks real bad, they have the number one
game against us. That's against us. The season as a whole, he's gotten better the last 6 weeks or so.
I will say, as obviously as a Packers fan, I hope they start over. Like I hope they trade him. I hope they go with Caleb Williams, like whatever in the draft.
Oh no, Caleb, boy! If they get Caleb Williams, that would be man. I love Caleb Williams. That would be just the. I'd be so mad if they took him.
I want a team to start over because it's going to take them at least a couple of years to contend. Because if they keep Fields, which means they're going to trade the number 1 pick
again,
they are going to have an absolute ridiculous amount of capital to build their team around a quarterback that's already been playing there for 3 years. Like,
yeah, but see, they got a shot at Marvin Harrison Jr. So I mean,
yeah, but you think they're going to take a receiver at number 1? I can't.
No. They're going to trade down to get him.
Okay. Well, you have to be careful though, because like the Cardinals will absolutely draft Marvin Harrison Jr. because they already said they're going to keep Kyler Murray, and they do not have a receiver in Arizona. So he would immediately, like Marvin Harrison Jr. In my opinion, that's my prediction. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is a Cardinal, like no matter what the Bears do, because I don't think they're picking a receiver at number 1. So,
but I'm just saying, man, Fields and Harrison Jr. and DJ Moore, that's a nightmare.
Don't worry, the Packers will have a better defense coordinator next year. Either Al Harris or Evero.
Al Harris ain't leaving Dallas. He's not leaving.
Well, I think Al Harris goes wherever Dan Quinn goes, because I think Dan Quinn will get a head coach job, and then I think Al Harris will be his defensive coordinator.
Exactly. He's not coming back to Green Bay.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh well.
Not unless Harris gets his.
I would love it though.
Tired.
Don't get me wrong, I would love it, but that's what I predict. I think he just goes wherever Dan Quinn goes, because that's a promotion. He's their secondary coach.
I'm over the whole bring out Harris to Green. I'm over that. It's unrealistic.
Okay, so Evero. If Carolina,
I wouldn't mind Evero, but he does run the same defense that Barry does. He runs that like Fangio type of scheme.
So
I don't think anybody from college though.
Who would you guys want?
I would not mind. I wouldn't mind Dave Aranda, who used to be the Badgers defensive coordinator before Jim Leonard.
Okay.
He is, I forgot where he's coaching right now, but that's like a guy that I would like. Like I want someone that, obviously we all want someone that runs like an aggressive type of defense, right? Mike Zimmer has talked about getting back into coaching. I don't know if Mike Zimmer would work under Matt LaFleur because they didn't appear to like each other like a couple of years ago. But I would love Mike Zimmer. Like that'd be great because whoever it is, I want it to be someone that Matt does not touch the defense at all, right? So like we talk about like the coaching tree Matt is from, right? So like the Shanahan tree. Do we think Kyle Shanahan has anything to do with the 49ers defense? No.
Nope.
He's like not. He's not at any of those meetings. Like, do we think Mike McDaniel is involved at all with the Dolphins defense? No.
Nope.
Like, if my head coach is an offensive head coach and he calls the plays, I want a defensive coordinator that handles that side the same way. Like, there's no like hire a guy that knows what he's doing, that's like established, that like Matt can have full faith in, and be like, you take the defense and like you do whatever you want with it because like he tried to do that with Barry. It obviously didn't work, and that's why he said like a couple weeks ago, he's like, I'm gonna start getting more involved with the defense. Like as soon as he said that, I was like, that's when I knew Barry was gone after the season. Because like Matt doesn't want to do anything with the defense. Like he doesn't like defense.
Right.
Barry sees piping hot. It'll be ejector seat.
He's not even sitting down. He can't sit down. It's so hot he has to stand up for the whole game. Like he's gone. He's gone.
So I just looked up Dave Aranda and he looks like Baylor. Looks like.
Okay, he's coaching at Baylor right now.
But he wants to be back at Baylor.
Yeah, but does he turn down NFL head coach, defensive coordinator money, and that leads you into being? Think about it. If you come to Green Bay, and you come and be a defensive coordinator, and you're good, like you're gonna get a head coaching job in the NFL because this is being the defensive coordinator in Green Bay is like it's kind of a thankless job, like. You're gonna be the scapegoat as soon as things don't go well. But if you come in and you're the savior, yeah, you're gonna get springboarded into like a head coach job in the NFL.
What about Flores? I know my co-host Ingrid mentioned
Flores.
I would love it, but I think he gets a head coach job somewhere. To be honest, like
yeah, he got screwed over out of his head coaching gig.
Yeah. If I know this award doesn't exist, but if there was an NFL like assistant coach of the year, he would easily win, right? Like I said on our show last week before the Vikings game, other than Danielle Hunter and Harrison Smith and DJ Wanham, who didn't play because he was hurt, can you name anyone on the Vikings defense? Like they have a bunch of no names.
I was about to say Dean Lowry, but he's also hurt.
Yeah, like, and they've been good all year, playing with a bunch of guys you've never heard of. So, yeah, I think he's going to end up being a head coach somewhere next year. But sign me up. I would love it if he would be our defensive coordinator.
I think that was it. Oh, final thoughts. Yeah, Justin, I know you said you kind of wanted to hit this one off.
So, just obviously thank you, Monte, for coming on. And,
thanks for having me.
And also, I'm looking forward to. It's just a bright future in Green Bay. Get past this year, whether we go deep in the playoffs or not. Get rid of Barry and get an aggressive guy on defense. Let the defensive guy handle his stuff. Let Matt take care of the offense. And I'm do good in the draft, and I'm hoping for another Lombardi Trophy or 3 in the future. So go Pack, go!
Go Pack, go, guys! Thanks for having me on.
Well, we usually all do it. James, final thoughts. You know this.
Y'all know who I'm picking on Sunday. I mean, it's as clear as day.
Yeah, we're all picking the Packers.
I feel good.
Yeah.
Be prepared to have my mom in a Packers jersey for the 10th time in a row. So be prepared to see a pick or 2 or 10.
Okay. Monte, final
I just hope all this doesn't come back to bite me.
No, I think we're gonna have a fun Sunday. The Packers are gonna win. We're gonna be talking about, are they gonna be able to upset a team in the playoffs? But just no matter what, like I think what I want most of our fans to just realize is like no matter what happens on Sunday, like this was a successful season. Like they found out that they have their quarterback. They found out the pieces around him that they need to build around that quarterback. Like I'm expecting to win and they should make the playoffs, but what I wanted out of this season has already happened weeks ago, which was like finding out what you have for the future. So like now everything else is just like it's cherry on top.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, so yep. So
no, we can't lose to the Bears.
Yeah, no, we're gonna win.
No. This will kind of tie into that. So Justin and I will be together for the Bears and Packers game. We are undefeated together. So we'll have that on us. And also So, like I told you, Monte, you asked me why we chose you, or why I chose you. And it's because whenever we had a guest on before the game, we won.
Oh,
So we're
perfect.
keeping that
Well,
alive.
now we better win because now you guys are gonna hate me if I break the streak.
No, we'll still be
Wait.
good. We'll still be good.
This is why I hate you. We never said that at all. And I was actually texting my co-host during this. We would love to have you back on with him.
Absolutely, I would love to come on again.
He did just get a Jermichael Finley jersey from Etsy, though. I don't know if you saw that, but he did.
Hey, Jermichael Finley, last Packers tight end that I was excited about as much as I am about the two that we currently have. So
I think I can show you this. I'll show you to you anyway.
Yeah,
So he's got
Andrew
that.
got a Finley jersey.
okay, yeah, there we go. Yeah, an
it's from-
XLV one. That's perfect.
Yeah, I miss seeing Jermichael Finley play. He was actually one of the two alumni that was at the Packers Cowboys game last year, November.
Yeah, he was. Unfortunately, he's one of the what if in Packers history because of a neck injury, like him and Nick Collins. Like he was
Sharp.
Yeah, and Sharp. Yeah, I mean, Jermichael Finley, he was like they were running the offense through him as a tight end in 2009, like especially in that Cardinals game, like when he really emerged. Like, yeah, that was they haven't had a tight end like that since now. Like Musgrave is a guy that they can use that way. So I'm looking forward to him playing on Sunday. Hopefully, it really seems like he's going to play. So yeah, like you said, future's bright. Like we have a lot to look forward to, and this is like only the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.